Hello and welcome back to the Open Mind with you, friends. Today I'm going to talk about yet another topic related to airlines. Well, it so happened that one of my friends asked me over the weekend what is about my opinion about this Tata's taking over Air India. He knows because I have a special relationship with Air India thanks to my father. He was with Air India for over 25 years. So as soon as, within a couple of years of my coming into this world, he joined Air India, and it was, such a situation that the Maharaja was part of our family. So we are, all of us are emotionally attached to Air India, and that is why my friend asked me, "What do you feel?" So, uh, Air India, even during its tough time and the downtime, we were loyal to Air India even after father retired. Though the free passages, etc., were available, but it was difficult to get on board. So, but to the extent possible, we continued to travel by Air India, and even today, my personal preference would be to travel by Air India, whatever type of service it is, because the heart belongs there, right? So, uh, taking a more, business-like view, Tatas have got three airlines already. Uh, two airlines already. Tata AirAsia, which is the low-cost carrier, and Vistara Airlines, which is the full-service carrier. Tata AirAsia, I think, has been around for more than 5-7 years, and Vistara, I read a few days ago that it completed 7 years of operations, which is good. And now they have Air India. Now, first of all, if my belief is that if you cannot make an airline profitable within a period of 7 years with not a very large fleet like Indigo, but an okay type of fleet, and you have the wisdom of Singapore Airlines. In fact, the Singapore Airlines, one of the senior VPs of Singapore Airlines was the CEO of Tata Vistara, of the Vistara Airlines, and even then, I believe that in the initial periods, even some of the senior management positions were held by the Singaporeans. So, because they wanted to put in a lot of expertise into the airline, because airlines is a niche business and it requires that kind of expertise. But even then, recently I read that Vistara is not a profitable airline. So I'm wondering that what made Tata's actually invest in Air India, then improving the performance of the other two airlines, Air Asia and Vistara. Now, if this is against the generally followed business principle that you do not add to your losses. That is the common sense approach, and more in terms of investing as well. Unless you have something which is going to dramatically change the way the outcome is likely to be. Uh, all of you know that a few days ago I had shared my views, which may not have been liked by many, about the upcoming Akasa Air, and I clearly mentioned that in order to survive in the Indian aviation scenario, the airlines would need to defy the basic principles of economics, which are demand and supply, and the corresponding pricing related to it. Now, add to this Air India, and Tata's now have a khichdi of airlines, uh, which is Air India comes along with its subsidiary Air India Express, which itself is a low cost carrier. So, In my view, Tatas have possibly played emotional card more than the commercial card, because Air India was taken away from the Tatas several decades ago, and that may have always been in their mind that they always wanted to come back and own Air India. Possibly that was in their mind, and now that the opportunity was available, they have taken over. Well, it's good. And if they are able to see what I cannot see, and I am not saying that I am a visionary and I am the best person in the aviation field, but I am just using common sense. And if I would not go and invest in something which is actually going to help me increase the speed at which I would lose my capital. So, this is my belief. Now, let us give, and the other thing is, how would the Tatas think of, operating these three carriers, different type of carriers? Because Air India has its own baggage in terms of resources, Vistara has its own culture, and Air Asia may have its own culture very different. So there is going to be a cultural bale, you know. So it is going to be extremely difficult to manage this new set of airlines. And I believe that Air Asia actually is not performing well and underperforming, and possibly Air India Express is better equipped to handle the LCC model because it has a good following in the Gulf and Middle East, and I think even on the India Singapore route as well. I have flown Air India Express many times, and I found their service and the fares quite competitive. I mean, there's nothing to complain about. When you are paying a lower fare, you can't expect a royal service, right? And so Air India Express could replace Tata Air Asia, and Vistara and Air India will have to compete as long as Singapore Airlines is part of Vistara. Sooner or later, in my opinion, Singapore Airlines, if I was Singapore Airlines, I would definitely say either we exit or you make us part of Air India as well, because there's no point in running two airlines with two different owners. One where I have half a leg over here and the full leg over and both the legs over here. That's not how you can effectively manage a business. That's my belief. So sooner or later, Singapore Airlines will have that feeling and they may end up parting with Vistara. Will it impact Tata's ability to manage the airline? I do not know. Now, because no one knows. Uh, Today, no one knows whether who is actually managing Vistara, whether it is the Tata's team or the Singapore's team, right? So only the Vistara people would know. I am not from Vistara, so I wouldn't know that. But if Singapore Airlines was really serious about the business, it would not have allowed Vistara to run into losses. That's my belief. So, in my opinion, it would be difficult to comment on whether this new experiment would survive or not. But I would give a period of 3 financial years from the coming financial year, which is 20 to 23. And at the end of March 25, 31st March 2025, if the Tatas have not made these three airlines profitable, then I think they will have to do some serious introspection, because definitely there's something that would have gone wrong, that in spite of having some of the best resources in the industry, they would have then failed. I wish that they do not fail, because I am a born Air Indian and I would like the Maharaja to scale greater heights and to get the pride and the honor that it used to occupy once. It used to be the tagline used to be your home in the sky, and for me it was actually my home in the sky. It was great honor and pride even for me, who was not employed by Air India, to fly Air India. So I wish the Tatas the very best, and I wish the pride and honor of the Maharaja is returned. And I would like to travel by the, once the new Maharaja settles down in his royal, what we call is Simhasan, right? The seat of power. And then I will be on board Air India soon as a passenger, of course. What do you feel, friends? What is your view? Please do let me know. Your comments are welcome, whether they are in agreement with me or they are not, because uh, your perspective at looking at things is very important. After all, life is full of perspectives. That is what I believe. Thank you very much for gifting me your time, and I wish you the best.